What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Wednesday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. Feels more like a Saturday today, with everyone mostly off of work. Thanksgiving tomorrow. We have 14 games on this main slate tonight. They're not playing any NBA games tomorrow on Thanksgiving. It's a football day. Nothing wrong with that. But we have a lot of teams here. And luckily, I'm going to knock on wood because there's not a lot of injuries right now, which is crazy because we got 28 teams playing, but things develop as we get closer to lock. I do these videos early in the afternoon. We do have Jason Tatum, a surprise addition to the injury report today, questionable with an illness. That's obviously a big one. Karis LeVert is still questionable. He's been out the past few games, but overall, it's not crazy. There's some good value for expensive guys, that is. I can't really find a lot of good cheap value that I feel comfortable with. Unfortunately, the plays I give you, it's not going to leave you a ton of remaining salary, but we'll get into that. Like this video, subscribe. We'll roll right into my point guard play. LaMelo Ball at 9,900. He's just been shooting lights out. I just did my best bet video. I have him for 25 plus points tonight in the parlay. He's done that in 8 straight games. His fantasy points are fantastic. He cooked the Celtics. They ended up winning in overtime. Very surprising win against my Celtics. Was pretty butthurt over that one. But 63 fantasy points in a matchup that was not favoring him. The matchup that does favor him tonight are the Wizards. He's going from the Celtics to the Wizards. That couldn't be any more of a lopsided switch up. Wizards defense is garbage. He's under 10K. He needs 50 fantasy points to hit value. He's projected like 52. He's a really safe bet for all the spend ups. I do like LaMelo Ball a lot. He's been scoring. He's been rebounding. He's been assisting. They have Miles Bridges back. All is right in Charlotte right now outside of Terry Rozier struggling through injuries. But LaMelo Ball looks fantastic. Just love this spend up if you can get there. Again, there's not a lot of cheap values right now, so it might be harder to get to him. I have a lot of good plays in the 7 to 8K range as well. So it's not the end of the world if you can't get to him tonight, but if you are going up towards 10K, he should be the first or second guy you're looking at to put in your lineup. Shooting guard. I might get some flack for this one, but got to go back to Keon George here. The Jazz absolutely, they fucked us last night against the Lakers. They got blown out. I had John Collins, I had Keon George, I had Jordan Clarkson. All didn't play in the fourth quarter. Clarkson had been so hot, got like 11 fantasy points. Our lineups were looking good too. It was a 7-point spread, and they got blown out. There's really nothing you can do. The other 7-point spread game last night, the Cavs and 76ers ended up going to overtime. So, it's not like you should have picked from the Cavs and Sixers because it was a safer bet, because it wasn't. It was the same spread. You have one game that gets blown out and players only play 3 quarters, and then you have the other game that goes into overtime and players play 4 quarters and 5 minutes extra. So it's like, that's the kind of stuff you just bounce back from. This is a much better matchup tonight. These Jazz starters got some extra rest. They only played low 20s in minutes, and it couldn't be a better matchup in Portland. These are both pretty bad teams. Their offenses should get going. In the NBA, defense is more important than offense. All these pros can score the basketball. Both of these teams having bad defenses should have a lot of points. It's like a 4-point spread. So I'm not worried about the Jazz tonight on the road because the Trailblazers are a lot different than playing, at the Staples Center against the Lakers. So I like Keon George again at 5,300. If he stays out there like he should, he's going to start. He's been starting the entire time Walker Kessler's been out, and he's been playing just fine outside of last game. He's projected for 26 fantasy points. He needs 26 to hit value. He has, low 30s upside. He's their true point guard now, with Jordan Clarkson more of the shooting guard. His assist numbers have been fantastic. I like Keon George once again here tonight, where we shouldn't see a blowout, but you never know. Small forward, let's go to Miles Bridges. He drew the start. They are wasting no time getting him into the rotation. Now, he didn't miss time because of an injury, so it's different. They kept him physically, fit to be ready to go once he was ready to come back. And he's played 33, 31, and in that overtime game, 44 minutes. I mean, even if that game didn't go to overtime, he was still going to play 39 regulation minutes. We know how many minutes Miles Bridges played in previous seasons, and they are not afraid to run him into the ground. If you can pair him with LaMelo Ball, I know it eats up a lot of your salary, but this matchup against the Wizards is unbelievable. I don't think there should be a blowout. Last time I checked, I don't think it's a high spread. They are in Charlotte, but the Hornets are still the Hornets. It's a 241 over-under and a 4.5 point spread. This is looking like the best game for DFS tonight out of the 14 games. I like Miles Bridges. Needs 35 fantasy points to hit value. He's projected for 37.5. And, he's a pretty safe bet when he's playing so many minutes. Seeing that he played 39 regulation minutes means that he is fully ready to go and play a full workload in this starting unit. Power forward, let's go to, I said I don't have many cheap values. Keon George is really my only real cheap value. We're going to go to Zion Williamson, just cooked the Kings. I also like Brandon Ingram a lot tonight, but we can't have all 7 to 10K players, unfortunately. Zion destroyed the Kings last game. They blew him out. Only played 29 minutes. They're at home again. What's the spread here? It's only a 1.5 point spread. So the Kings are good. Just didn't really shape out last game. I see him scoring a lot. He's also in my best bet parlay for 20 plus points tonight. 40 fantasy points. Should be gettable. He's done that in the last 3 games, really. And he's projected for like 42. If he plays a full game, 32 to 34 minutes, he should be getting to 40 fantasy points. His price is just too cheap on FanDuel. He's going to be popular again tonight in a very favorable matchup against the Kings. Then for center, we're going to go to a guy that I like going to, and again, last night, he's in the same boat as Keon George. Just the blowout screwed him. He had a hot start. He had 22 fantasy points in the first half. Ended with only 26 because they got blown out. But if this game stays close against the Blazers, he's another great value play with no Walker Kessler. John Collins is starting at the 5. His rebound numbers have been going up since starting at center. And he's had a lot of usage. He's a great stocks player. He gets blocks and steals. I like him to get low 30s in fantasy points. He's been doing that. Outside of last game being the blowout, he had done that in 4 straight games. We're going to go back to the well here. It's a great matchup. I said it in yesterday's video. It was always a little risky going up against Anthony Davis, and I said we had a little bit of risk of a blowout, and we ran into the negative side of that. Much safer bet here tonight for the Jazz against the Blazers. Both teams not really good, so I don't think there should be a blowout. Like I said, I'm just reiterating what I said with Keon George. Collins, multi-positional eligibility, power forward and center on FanDuel. He looks like another great play in the middle tier range. That'll do it for this video, guys. Let's cash out tonight. Hope you guys all have a safe and fun Thanksgiving. Ready for some football tomorrow. Like this video, subscribe. Until next time, peace.